Then it begs a question. Is there something brewing? Is there a trend or a pattern that we are looking at? And for that, let's go to our experts. Let's try and understand what exactly happened. Is this an isolated case, or perhaps at this juncture, we need to really understand what precisely happened? I'm joined by Dr. Neha Aggarwal, clinical psychologist. She's a consultant psychologist, I correct myself, from Fortis. Dr. Neha, thank you for joining me on Super 6. You help me understand. You must have also seen these cases. There have been cases of women mistreated, or they are taking to a certain step. This looks like a criminal mind, usually over a relationship or other issues. Do you also see there is a trend happening? What do you believe could be the reasons for it?
Nowadays, we see a lot of women murdering men, though it is not very common. But
yes,
nowadays we are able to, maybe it is easily available on the news that we come to know about these cases. So these cases have been happening earlier also. So when we see this as a psychiatrist, I try to look into the mind of the accused. What could be the psychological intent? Because not every time it is a psychological or a psychiatric disease, it could be just criminal intent. Now, the cases you mentioned right now, 3-4 cases, most of them, they were extramarital affairs. And one was a psychiatric disorder.
Correct.
Right. So when what we infer from this is there is a lack of communication. There is lack of free space where a person can do or tell others what he really wants to do in life. It is not about, like, I'm not justifying their deeds, but पीछे देखें, preventive health में देखें अगर, तो sometimes we see कि society में कहीं ना कहीं there is too much of foundation where a person is not able to do what actually.
On young women. On young women.
On young women, yes. There is like very restrictive mindset or restrictive patriarchy is there. So many things are there. जिससे there is long-term abuse or long-term दबाया जाता है. So it can come out like this, which is very drastic. But again, in this particular case where we see बाहर से सब अच्छा लग रहा था, they were happy pictures, and then this happened. We don't know, like it is too early to judge.
Can you elaborate on that? Because of course, we're not trying to cast aspersions. We've seen cases on both sides. We've seen men kill women as well, kill their partners and wife. But in this case, when I talk of a young woman who's married barely 5 days, 10 days ago, can plot a murder, where do you think the background comes in here? Do you think it's the lack of, like you're saying, communication or patriarchy, that the fact she feels, I have to always listen to what parents have to say? Do you think this is where the family support system also needs to come in? And again, a question that sometimes criminal mind is gender neutral.
Yeah, true. First of all, I would refrain from assuming that she is the one. Right, since law and justice will take its investigation, will take its course. But yes, if it is true, like she was posing happily and she was premeditating a murder also, so this could be a part of a feature which is known as compartmentalization. This can be done by people who are psychopaths in nature or narcissistic traits जिनके अंदर होते हैं. They're able to make a good face in public, and they can even plan inside.
Wow.
Such people can lack empathy. They lack empathy. They do not have reality testing. They're intact. Reality testing. They lack judgment, and they don't have any remorse. So such type of personalities do exist in between us, because outwardly they are very sweet and charming, but inside they can be, you know, just premeditating murder too.
And ruthless of this nature. Perhaps a lot of it really needs to be understood. I appreciate you, Dr. Neha Aggarwal, for helping us understand even briefly to really begin a conversation on mental health, on psychology, especially when we talk of young women looking independent otherwise. But is there something going wrong? And we need to take our women in confidence. For this time, sadly, not one, but there have been cases of men who've been killed. And how? Thank you very much, Dr. Neha Aggarwal. This is a perspective we'll be tracking in the days to come.